assembled, constitute ourselves prophets of a new order of competence and of courage. This is more than a political campaign. It is a call to arms. Give me your help, not to win votes alone, but to win in this crusade to restore America to its own people.
He didn't spell out plans to end the Depression, nor did the voters greatly care for details. What they wanted and got was hope and confidence. The result was never in doubt.
It looks, my friends, like a real landslide this time. So please let me thank you again and tell you that I hope to see you all very soon and bid you an affectionate good night.
He relied heavily on a small group of advisors to draft the necessary laws. Their first job was to restore the shattered economy. Since the Wall Street crash, over 5,000 banks had closed down. People withdrew their money from the banks and kept it at home. There was no confidence in the system. To stop the panic, Roosevelt closed all the banks for 4 days. In the famous first 100 days, he persuaded Congress to pass 15 new laws to fight the emergency. Now something was happening, and confidence began to return. He believed in explaining these New Deal laws directly to the people to gain their confidence. He did this in his regular radio fireside chats.
Confidence of the people themselves. Confidence and courage. Let's unite in banishing fear. We have provided the machinery to restore our financial system, and it is up to you to support and make it
Farmers
work.
were given help under the AAA, or Agricultural Adjustment Act. They were suffering because of rapidly falling prices for their products. WPA, or Workers' Progress Administration, gave work to about 8 million people on a number of projects over the years. Or Tennessee Valley Authority. This vast government project built a series of dams which controlled the flooding and also provided cheap electricity in the valley for the first time. This angered private firms who were kept out of the scheme. Across the country in Washington, opposition to the New Deal was mounting. The Supreme Court, the highest legal body in the United States, had declared many of Roosevelt's acts unconstitutional. The New Deal seemed to be at risk. Most of the judges were elderly and politically opposed to Roosevelt. When he proposed increasing their number, he was accused of trying to pack the court with his supporters and suffered a rare defeat in Congress. There was trouble on the industrial front, too. In spite of the New Deal's efforts, some big industries still refused to recognize trades unions. So in 1936 and 1937, a wave of sit-down strikes swept the country. Workers in all kinds of jobs refused to leave their workplaces in protest. By the late 30s, the New Deal had begun to transform the country. Government agencies built roads, homes, schools, hospitals, and public buildings of all kinds. The new dams of the TVA and other schemes not only gave work and electricity to many parts of the country, but had made millions of acres fertile again. There were fewer farmers now, but they were supported by guaranteed prices for their crops. Roosevelt's New Deal had increased the buying power of many more people. Yet, in forcing it through, he defended many groups, big business, the Supreme Court. As he said himself, with his customary grin, everybody's agin me, except the electorate. He'd seen America through some very dark days. But it was an event outside America, the European War of 1939, with its demand for American weapons, that got people back to work again. Ironically, it was this, rather than the New Deal, which finally brought unemployment in the United States to an end.